guys, welcome back. I just wanted to pop it in really quick and just give a shout out to all of the judges, all the people who was on the panel to basically convict Derek Chauvin of the murder of George Floyd, because this is a long time coming. Like, we actually got a win, this is a good win. I think that it showed that, us as Black people, we can somewhat get a sense of, the police authorities and just the justice system, that they have our backs. Not necessarily because, let's be honest, this win, this is long overdue for many lives, not just George Floyd. This is the first conviction that we had in decades, actually saying that a white police officer committed murder against a Black person. Like, this is a long overdue, situation. So I'm just glad, I think I seen a news clip because I was out exercising when, they finally said, when they finally went to jury and everything happened in the court. I was out. So, I heard about, people out there celebrating, and it just showed that not only Black Lives Matter, but everybody, matter. I think everybody should be, get the proper, what is the word? They should get the proper representation for whatever has happened to them, whether it be a murder, whether it be wrongfully accused, any of that. And to see that win on yesterday, that just give us hope, and it lets us know, not just Black people, but as a nation, that George Floyd, his life did matter. Not only did it matter before, it matters now. And, that is something, like, he didn't die in vain. Basically, he didn't die in vain. And hopefully this pushes the needle forward for more wrongfully accused, more, wrongful deaths at the hands of police brutality. More judges will be able to humanize themselves, not because of the color of their skin, but by right and by wrong, by justice and by, the unjust, and be able to convict somebody regardless of what authority that they hold, regardless of what type of person they hold, that they will be able to go to a court where it's an even playing field on all sides. It's not no favoritism. It's because you this, you're that. It's none of that. It's just specifically presenting the evidence, going through the checks and balances of what's right and what's wrong, and then, convicting if necessary. And so I'm just happy that, like I said, we got a win. Though we celebrate in this moment, I also want to acknowledge the fact that the fight still continues. Every day we're seeing innocent young Black people, older Black people die at the hands of police because, those checks and balances is not being met. The leniency that a white person will get as opposed to a Black person. And I was watching something on yesterday, and basically it was about this young lady who witnessed, she video recorded this young boy. He was literally, this is his neighborhood, and granted, okay, you got white people live there, you got Black people live there, and we, if you live in a certain neighborhood of a certain caliber, you assume that, okay, because majority of the, the income is of a white person, then black people shouldn't belong. But that's not true, because I feel like black people can make and earn just as much as a white person. So the story went on to thank God, you know, he didn't lose his life, but still the fact of this injustice, you know, because of the skin color that we were born into. You know, this is not something that we can choose. Even back in slavery, you know, it was put on us as something to dehumanize us and something that we should not be proud of. But it was, I think it's our race and you know, just our background and what we come from. It just shows that our strength and our courage and the things that we've endured for so long. So the story goes on. The young gentleman, he's walking in the neighborhood, just taking a stroll. It's like, you know, still COVID, still happening. So, you know, of course you want to go out, you want to get fresh air. So he's out. This is daylight. And I believe what happened? The lady, he was, some girl, she had a baby in her hand and she was in the yard, and she said something to him and they started conversing. And so the girl who's recording this, she was asked by the white woman, which I guess was her mom or whatever, the girl's mom that was in the yard, where was she? And she said, she's over there, you know, just talking to this guy, which was the boy. And so the mom, she's like, you need to leave, telling the boy, like, you need to go, you need to leave, why are you around here? And the boy is simply trying to explain himself and say, like, you know, I live in this neighborhood, I'm just, you know, taking a stroll. She happened to pull me aside, we started conversing. And so the girl who's recording, she's now sensing like, oh shoot, something's about to go down, let me record this. And so so the boy refused, because rightfully so, like, if this is your neighborhood, you have free will to walk around just like any other person. And so she went inside the house and she got this guy, I guess her husband or whatever, and of course he just took it to a whole nother level. He put his hands on him. I think he was if I'm not mistaken, he was like a sergeant or something like that. So he got suspended because, like, he touching him and basically provoking him, telling him he don't belong here, you need to go, and just being belligerent and disrespectful. And so the girl, she caught all this on camera, and as a result to that, you know, it's been uploaded, millions and millions of people can see. And I think he got, not terminated, but he got like some type of penalty or something like that, just suspended or something from his duties for the time being. And I believe the boys could press charges. I don't know if he wants to per se, but he could if he choose to. And so that right there, that story alone, it happened recently. So that just goes to show you know, even after the Floyd situation and everything that has, you know, all the marches and all the protests and all the Black Lives Matter t-shirts and all of, you know, fighting for justice, you know, is still happening still, you know. So though that was a step in the right direction, it's not completely over. We got one win out of millions. Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, you know, all to name a few. Just so many lives has been taken, so many lives has been mishandled, and so many cases has been mishandled in the justice system, and we finally got a win. So, you know, I don't want to discredit this win at all. Like, I'm so happy. I'm happy that his family was able to get justice, because you know, all the evidence, you know, sometimes we can have the evidence right in front of us, but we will still be in denial, because we will try to find a way to justify our actions in that situation. And I think the police officer, Derek Chauvin, he said something like, when he had his his knee on his George Floyd's neck. He tried to say like, oh, by him putting his knee on his neck, it didn't, you know, stop his airway. But all the evidence ruled that completely the opposite. Medical examiners, so many different medical examiners said that his airway, you know, was restricted. And then he tried to say the exhaust, because the way you know, the way George was lying on the floor, they were like, you know, the police car. The police car is right here, and he's lying kind of like under the police car. So they try to say like the exhaust from like the pipe of the car caused him, and then they try to say like his smoking and other behaviors that he's done cause his heart to stop. Like, come on now, like you making up all this stuff just to try to justify. And the way he, like, when he was in court, he really thought he had this in the bag. He really thought like, okay, oh, I got a good lawyer, I got money, this is all gonna go away. Because for so long, that's what we've seen. For so long, we see countless and countless of police officers go up in trial, and they get off, you know, they get off with little or nothing. You know, sometimes when they, even in the midst of a trial, they still getting paid. So he thought, like, his facial expression, the way I sensed it was that he thought he was gonna get off because everybody else did. And so that wasn't the case. You know, he actually got convicted of murder, and he will be serving time. And I just pray, you know, that he don't try to find a way to get out of this. He don't try to, you know, try to go back up and plead his case and stuff like that. And then I also believe the other officers who were there will be getting a trial coming up soon as well, because it's like you aiding and abetting because you clearly see your coworker is using his authority in a wrongful way, and you're just aiding that. You're not telling him, okay, just ease up on him, let's just lock him up, let's put him in the car, you know, the back of the car. Instead, you're just standing there allowing him to continue to put his knee on George Floyd's neck. So like I said, I'm so grateful to God that we got a win. I think a lot of us had to see it, especially like young Black people. We coming up in this new age of technology, and it's so key and so important. And I thank God for, you know, just having certain technology to be able to capture some of the things we go through. And again, this has been happening for so many years. It's just we're now getting to see it in light. The world itself is getting to see like how actually Black people are being treated and seen as a threat because of the color of their skin, without any question or sympathy. So I'm grateful for the win. We have a long time. We have so much work to do. I think, you know, some people will ask like, okay, what do we do now? You know, where do we go from here? And I think, like, me personally, just being a law-abiding citizen, just trying to be the best person that I can be, that's actually helping. That's actually contributing to this notion that all Black people are a threat, or all Black people are loud, or all Black people are bad. You know, just that stigma that we have on us. Because let's be honest, some people do, you know, some people do show their butt, you know, and sometimes it makes not only white people, but people in general look at you crazy. And it's like, if you don't want to be seen a certain way, then don't portray that. And I get it, you know, if you grew up in the ghetto, but that's all you know, and you talk a certain way, you might be aggressive in your tone because that's how you grew up. And I get that, but this is the real world. When you step into the real world, you have to understand that everybody's not like you, and you have to really see other people, you know, and move accordingly. You're not changing yourself, but you're trying to, not trying to fit in, because I don't want to use that word, fit in, but you want to be able to be in a space where, um, not necessarily accept it, but you can be able to function, you know, in a positive way amongst different people who are not like you, who don't look like you, who don't come from the same background as you. So I think, you know, just having that in mind, and just, you know, dialing it back. You have the courage. If you're mad, you know, granted, we all get mad, but you don't have to go off the handle and curse and act a fool, because that's what they want us to do, you know, especially us being young. They want to see us in a way where we can't conduct ourselves, when we can't, um, you know, be this person that is civilized in a certain situation. And I'm gonna just quickly say this little story. I seen it with my own eyes. I was in Safeway the other day, and we were all in the parking lot. And so, like, people coming in, people going out, people coming in, and there was a white guy in the car. He parked next to me, and I kind of just gave him like a, you know, like that, you know, friendly little grin or whatever. Not like nothing overly. So I gave him a grin just to let him know, you know, I'm here, I'm not a threat. You can get in your car. I'm doing what I'm doing over here. So I was putting my groceries in my car, and he, you know, went next to me. So he pulls out, and this girl, she's just coming straight. She's like flying. Mind you, we're in a parking lot. She's flying. And somehow, like, he was coming this way and she was coming that way. I don't really know how it happened, but she just like rolled her window down, cursing the man out, and he's looking like startled, because he like, where'd she come from and why is she mad? And I'm just like, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Like, here I am, black, a female, same as her, but I did it, you know, he seen me in a different light, and that might have gave him hope. You know, maybe he's not used to black people or whatever. Maybe he don't, you know, you don't know what a person mental or mindset is about a certain type of people. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to be the example. And then just that fast, this happened. It's like, dang, my goodness just got overshadowed. So now he puts us all in a box. And not to say that that was his mindset, but I can only imagine, because so many people do put all black people in a box. They do all think that we're ghetto. They do all think that we have no common sense, or we're not smart, or whatever like that. So I think how we move forward, yes, we still go out and march, you know, if that's your thing, still contribute financially if that's what you choose to do. But I think also just being a person that says to yourself, I'm going to be in this world, and I want to be the best version of I want to show up in a different way from how we're normally seen, you know. So I don't want to be this ghetto person, and I don't want to have people look at me a certain way, even though at the end of the day, you can be the greatest, you can do the most, you can have all the degrees in the world, you can be changing lives, you can do all this and still not get the same recognition that a white person or somebody else in the same caliber as you might get, unless you are an athlete or artist. You know, that's really what we mostly praise for. Outside of that, it's not that many. There's plenty of black authors and writers and educators, but of course they don't get the recognition that they would get, because we're put in this box. So I think, where do we go from here? Do your part. You know, you can only do your part. If you are stopped by a police officer, do everything they say. No back talking. Don't run away from the scene if you know you don't have nothing on you. If you know you haven't done anything, don't run away from it, because now it makes you look guilty. And I look at so many videos of like a guy, you know, got stopped by the police, and maybe he felt some type of way. Maybe he felt scared, you know, and he ran from the scene. It's just like, okay, you just gave them ammunition to kill you or to shoot at you. Not that that's right, but of course, you know, they fear us. You know, they don't even take the time to question us and give us those the things that we need to feel safe. They just automatically shoot and ask questions later. So where do we go from here is being the best version you can be, showing up and being something different. When you want to go off the handle, when you want to curse somebody out, do the opposite. You know, check your behavior, check the way that you're being seen. And then I think from that point, we can make the world a better place. You know, just changing how they see us. You know, just changing that dynamic of how we're being seen. So again, thank God for the win. Thank God for the win. We definitely need it. We deserve it, and hopefully more to come. Thanks for guys. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that you know, whoever's watching, especially like our black men, I hope that you guys stay safe. Black women too. I mean, people in general. Now they're attacking the Asians, and now they're doing mass shootings. So nobody is safe, really. You know, that's why it should be all lives matter, because at this point nobody's safe. But you know, just be on your P's and Q's. Check your surroundings when you go out. Just be careful of how you move in certain situations. Be careful about how you handle a situation, because you just never know what might come. Even driving on the highway, you know that somebody want to race you or they want to go in front of you, like, let them go. You don't have to catch up to them and flick the bird off, like, none of that, because at the end of the day, your life is important and your life matter. And if you want to continue to be here, it's certain things that you're going to have to do in order to get through life without being a casualty before your time. So hopefully this encouraged you all. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching. Until next time.